Alignment has been chaotic bad for a long time now. It's a 9-grid box where it's fun to make memes, but it doesn't necessarily translate into anything inside of game mechanics. But it used to be a little bit different back in the day, and that doesn't mean that it was better, but it was different. There was a role-playing system that figured out alignment, and boy, did they do it perfectly. I'm going to take you back to 2007. I was playing Star Wars Saga Edition, easily one of my absolute favorite role-playing systems, and it won the Annie Award. It revolutionized the way that tabletops were designed thereafter. In fact, I would argue a majority of the things that are very simple that we like about modern tabletop D20 systems were heavily inspired by this one game. Okay, so here's how they did alignment. They got rid of the 9-square box, and they turned it into points. Dark side points. And when you did an evil deed, your game master would assign you 1, 2, or 3 dark side points, depending on how egregious the dark side act you did was.
Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?
This is where the fun begins.
When your dark side points reached your wisdom ability score, you are officially evil. In Dungeons & Dragons 3.5, if you were a paladin or a cleric and you went off the beaten path, off the ways of being lawful good, well, you could lose your powers, and that pissed off a lot of players. I didn't like that. It was a stupid rule, and we ignored it for a very good reason. D&D overcorrected when they said, you just play your alignment the way you want to play it. Just role-play it out and see what happens at the table. And for most people, that's probably fine. What I've found from playing that edition for many, many years, from playtesting it as it's been adopted into Wanderverse, is when players get really close to that edge, and then they break that dam open and let that evil flood out, oh man.
Let the hate flow through you.
I'm evil now, I might as well just kill everything. Instead of in D&D or Pathfinder where, you have people who say, I'm chaotic neutral, but they're actually a murder hobo. And then you try to say that to them, and then they get defensive.
Are we the baddies?
Because their subjective truth is different from your subjective truth. When the reality is all we need is a thing that keeps track of the things you're doing, and players don't really want to haggle with you or get mad at you when you're like, you know what, dude, just take a dark side point and let's move on. Because in the grand scheme of things, they know they have so many more points to spend and so many more gray or evil area things they can do before it becomes a real problem. Whereas there's this huge whiplash of the 9-grid system where it's like, well, you did this thing and it was pretty egregious and I'm whipping you down to chaotic evil, buddy. I'm sorry. And then what do you say? What's your argument for that? You're in a debate now outside of the game. You're not role-playing anymore. So this system was fantastic. It's been adopted into Wanderverse. There are a few changes. Wanderverse does it just a little bit differently. Your alignment score goes up by 1, 2, or 3 points determined by the game master. However, when your alignment score reaches your charisma ability score, that is when you turn evil. The other thing that Wanderverse does is it uses necrotic spells to give you these alignment score points. So when you tap into dark and powerful magic, you get alignment score points. Alignment can be really awesome when it's done right. And there are a lot of game masters who really understand the ebb and flow of the changes in the 9-grid box system. Some of them know how to navigate the conversations really well. The alignment score system makes it very simple for players to see their progress, for GMs to kind of have those conversations about alignment score changes, and when players see that they're creeping up toward the alignment score point that's going to tip them over the edge, well, it's not a surprise when you tell them they're evil now. In fact, when we play tested this, one of the funniest things that has always happened, in fact, this actually happened a lot during the 2007 Star Wars Saga Edition. When you get close to that edge and you decide to cross it, and now you're officially evil, most people lean into that, and I love it. You can still come back from those dark ways. You just do good deeds. And your Game Master can remove the alignment score points based on the good deeds that you do. So there is still some level of subjectivity. And the argument becomes, hey, I want to remove this point, Game Master. I am clearly doing this good deed to let you know. And the Game Master will tell you, you know what? Take off 2. You're a good person, Paladin. But you're not going to immolate anymore because that's only for evil Paladins. And Wanderverse also has unique abilities that are for people that want to play that dark side, that evil side of the game. And this is one of the other things about Star Wars Saga Edition that they just got right. There's stuff that's available for you if you want to be evil. Technically, you don't even have to be evil. Just doing it makes you more evil. So if you want to go toward that path really quickly, like you just want to fly off a cliff and become evil, it's not just the necrotic spells. You get to narrate your alignment the way you want to in Wanderverse.
Here comes the story of our mission, a plan of capital sedition, born into the era of submission.